Hello and welcome to Rock, Paper, Shotgun. My name is Colm and joining me today is a man who could have, it's a special occasion. He could have got dressed up a little bit. It's Matthew Castle. Would you like to say something to the people at home,
hello.
Matthew?
Sorry, yes, hello. Welcome to Rock, Paper, Shotgun.
You're looking very dapper. I'm very impressed.
You know, this old thing, it is old actually. It's from my thinner days. I'm feeling quite tight around the neck.
Don't worry, nobody's noticing. But the reason Matthew has gotten dressed up is because, yes, this is a special occasion for Rock, Paper, Shotgun. We're trying something a little bit different. Something that we like to call the... see if you'll remember the name. The PC Gaming Weekshot, I think. Hello and welcome to the PC Gaming Weekspot. That's a good start, Matthew, isn't it? To get the name, to get the name wrong. But this is going to be from every Monday at 6 p.m. until who knows? We'll see. Myself, Colm Hearn, and Matthew Castle will be taking you through the last 7 days in PC Gaming News, as well as we'll give you some impressions or reviews or whatever on the games that we've been playing, as well as some other funky features as well that we will get onto. But yes, Matthew Castle, are you pumped? Are you fired up? Are you hyped, as the kids say?
Reasonably so, yes. I'm a little nervous because I know the quality of the later graphics in the show are not as good as the ones you just showed off.
Yes, let the record show that I did the intro and what you're about to see, the coming up style thing. Matthew he surprised me. He's given the individual segments little bumpers. I haven't seen them yet because I want my reaction to be genuine. But I know, Matthew, you've been working on them a long time. So
several weeks, basically. I've used a lot of my lockdown to learn some advanced video techniques to really bring this to life in a professional way. It's kind of an audition tape for more professional video work.
Right. What are you planning? Are you advertising your wares for the Beeb or Sky or?
Depends if HR's watching.
Well, until Rupert Murdoch comes calling, Matthew, you are contractually obliged to chat to me for the next hour and a half or so about many different things. So let's tell the viewer at home what is coming up on the show. Yes, it worked. So for headlines and hot takes, our take on the gaming news of the past 7 days, we will be looking at the fact that Halo Infinite, well, the multiplayer will be going free to play, and there's other Halo Infinite news as well. You're going to get Matthew's take on Craig the Brute. How exciting. But also the Fable MMO rumours, they run rampant. They will not die. And Matthew, he's an angry, angry boy. Also, achievements and mods are being rolled out on the Epic Games Store, so that's good. And we will also be chatting about Hawkeye, who will be the first DLC pack in the Avengers, and much, much more. And then...
Wow, I'm excited for that one.
And then in our segment that we're calling Show and Tell, Matthew will be chatting to me about Flight Simulator. And as you can see there, a direct quote from Mr. Castle: Flight Simulator is wonderful, he tells me. And you'll also see a quote from me on Grounded, Obsidian Entertainment's new survival game. Grounded seems nice. It is nice. I've played a bit of it. Stay tuned for more
some spicy
on
takes.
Grounded, indeed. And also on the show, the hit new quiz segment where Matthew and Colm test each other on Steam reviews. Yes, mystery Steam reviews. We'll explain all later. Then we will be taking questions from the live chat. I just saw Toya in the chat says, is this actually live or a pre-recorded video? This is live. It's just we're that slick. But yeah, we'll be taking questions from the live chat, so you can ask us whatever you want during that part of the show. And then, Matthew, I know you're excited for this. famed, beloved director of the movie The Twilight Zone, the movie, live on Skype, one Steven Spielberg. Well,
I can't believe it.
It is a big show, so we wanted to do something to mark the occasion. But yes, Spielberg. I was going to say a big fan of yours, Matthew, but he might be. But you are a big fan of Mr. Spielberg. So
we actually had to ban him from the comments because he was mean about my stuff.
Yes, but we still like him, so that's why we've decided to have him on the show. But yes, it is now. I'm very much looking forward to this. It is time for to see the other graphics that have been created for this show by Mr. Matthew Castle as we get on to our first segment. I will say, I did say this before the show as well. This is a pilot, so it's maybe not going to be as slick as future episodes. But yes, it is time to get on to the first segment, which is headlines and hot takes. And Matthew Castle, you have made a little graphic for us, so let's have a look. Right, what's that, Matthew? What's that? You've had a number of
and
weeks.
Hot takes. That's PC gaming legend Gordon Freeman.
Yeah. But you've had a number of weeks at this now, Matthew, and you take a PNG
effect.
You take a PNG of Gordon Freeman. He goes small to big. Matthew, I really hope the other graphics are a tad better, Matthew. Just a tad.
Yeah, there might be a theme to some of them.
Oh dear! Right.
Yes. But I think you'll notice that the words appear at the of the drum.
A masterpiece. Yeah. No, I don't worry. I did notice that part.
I thought it was pretty good. 7 out of 10. Unbelievable.
I suppose before we get into it, yes, hello, who is watching us? Flashy, Harry Koo, The Castaway, Senna, Jarmarmaman, Shane, Toya, as I said. Thank you very much for joining us on this momentous occasion as we embark on the PC Gaming Weekspot. Weekspot, Matthew, not week shot. But yes, the first story today revolves around Halo Infinite, and there's a lot of Halo Infinite to this, but namely, sorry, I'm stalling a little bit as I try and bring up the thing, but essentially, there's a lot of people cross about Halo Infinite, Matthew.
Yes.
Awfully cross. But one thing, before we get into how cross they are, let's chat about how they may be a little bit happy about the fact that the Halo Infinite multiplayer is going to be free to play. So this was announced on the Halo Twitter. They first confirmed that on Xbox Series X it's going to be 120 frames per second, but that doesn't concern us. But yes, the multiplayer is going to be free to play. And on the Japanese Xbox store, it was there was something mentioned about, quote, battle royale shooting. No, nothing. They haven't really gone into that all that much. But before we get into any of the how cross people have been about Halo, are you happy? Do you see this as I don't know, do you see other games going down this route? Like the fact that the Halo Infinite multiplayer is going to be essentially separate from the main game. Does this excite you, Matthew Castle?
I guess it does. And it's kind of odd because with Game Pass, I guess they've got lots of people playing Halo for quite cheap anyway. You know, in theory, you could just pay like a couple of quid or whatever it is for a month and hop on it. So, you know, I wonder if they've already sort of shown that they're not really that bothered about people playing full price games anymore. You know, they're sort of moving away from that. I don't know if it's just about like, is it just trying to create a massive user base for a thing so that they can roll out more advanced seasons and add-ons as they go along? Do you think that's the sort of vibe of this?
I mean, it does seem like they're going down that route, like which maybe gives credence to the battle royale kind of listing on the Japanese store. I don't know,
I mean, the Halo 5 had that weird sort of standalone mode that was like the big. It was like that. It was like a new version of the big team battle.
Why did that? Why did that start playing again?
Oh, don't roll that again.
Why is that playing again? Sorry, go on, Matthew. Tell me about.
Apparently, people can't hear the gameplay. They can't hear the sound of the videos.
Yes, I noticed that whilst Halo was playing, and I do apologize, but you will be able to hear from now on. I apologize again.
Sound is key to them.
The pilot episode. I apologize. Carry on, Matthew Castle.
I think Halo's a bit of a weird one. I think there's a bit of a weird relationship between Halo and the rest of it, considering it's their, it's meant to be their big game, it's their Mario, isn't it? It's their Uncharted, it's, but I don't think it being anywhere near the levels of kind of success, kind of critically or kind of commercially as those other big games from their kind of competitors. No, it feels really diminished to me.
Maybe
it's a shame because I thought Halo 5's multiplayer was really, really good, but just not the weird big battle mode that they did, but just the regular kind of team deathmatch was actually a great time. I played it with some friends and we really, really enjoyed it, and it has the same kind of rhythms of the older games, but it just seemed that no one really cared. So maybe like the secret to unlocking a secretly good game that no one cares about is just to give it away for free and hope that people will go, "Oh, this is good."
Listen,
it'd be sad if it doesn't though. Those free games, they die quite quickly if they're if there's no audience there. It's really obvious what's going on. Then you have to sort of kill it out of embarrassment, really.
I mean, true, but obviously over the last couple of years, there is something to some free-to-play games like Fortnite, like your Apex Legends, and I'm guessing that's what. Of course, that's what.
Every first party wants to have one of those things, but there's also, is there space for it? Can you actually do it? I mean, I think Apex Legends was, I think made the dent that it made because obviously free to play, but also. It's just a great feeling shooter. It feels as good as a Titanfall game to play.
Well, do you think that 343, like they're just constantly chasing the Bungie kind of love, and they're just
Xbox is the weird thing about Xbox. But I used to edit the official Xbox magazine, and whenever you interviewed any of their executives, I always felt like they suffer from a huge nostalgia problem. Like they're so in love with, because a lot of them were working at Microsoft when the original Xbox came out, and they're really like emotionally attached to that. And when you hear them talk about it, like they are trying to capture the kind of magic of Halo 1, not just in terms of like success, but in terms of like what it meant to them internally. I just wonder if they're too close to it, and the fact that you built like this whole studio design just to make Halo in that vein, if they're necessarily the right people to make it. I mean, I don't know. It feels like it's been a tribute act for quite a long time.
Well, I'd imagine this is definitely, this is game 6 or game 6. This is game 3 for 343. So it's kind of shit or get off the pot time, really.
Yeah,
for them.
I don't mind. I do like a bit of Halo though. I'm actually up for the campaign. I know everyone's super down on how it looks, but
well. Look, let's chat about how it looks then. So on the Halo Waypoint blog, 343, they addressed the criticisms that the visuals that were shown off during.
Imagine that though. Imagine your big reveal after all those years,
I know.
And it's so bad that you have to come out and go.
Well,
it'll get better.
Like, I mean, we'll talk about it more. I don't think it was that bad. But first of all, they spoke about the art style, and they said, quote, "Based on our learnings from Halo 4, Halo 5 and Halo Wars 2, along with strong community feedback, we decided to shift back towards the legacy aesthetics that defined the original trilogy. This translates to a more vibrant palette, cleaner models and objects with less noise, though it doesn't mean less detail. While we appreciate this may not be everyone's personal preference, we stand by this decision and are happy to see it resonating with so many fans around the world." Now, before we talk about the fidelity, like, again, like I think this is to what you're saying about maybe them trying to be a tribute, or not trying to be a tribute act, but kind of being a tribute act, I suppose, and trying to I don't know, get your lapsed Halo fan by going for the old style aesthetic. I don't know if that's a good idea or a bad idea. Like,
I've never, like, obviously Halo 1 was like a big step up about, you know, over what you could get at the time, and likewise Halo 2, but Halo 3 is like a good looking game, but it's not sort of staggering for that generation. You know, it has got quite a simple art style. There's a lot of nice stuff going on, but it's never been a graphics powerhouse for me personally. Like, a lot of it is quite subtle. Like, it's the fact that it looks as good as it does, it runs as well as it does, and you can do the whole thing in co-op, and it's recording everything you do, so you can go in theater mode and then break it all down. You know, I feel like there's Halo does a lot more than how it looks. You know, it's that generation saw games getting crazy pretty, you know, off the back of, like, I guess the rise of the sort of Epic engine after, like, you know, Gears of War and whatnot. You know, things started looking, well, unreal, pardon the pun. But this, so, like,
I'm shaking
I don't know,
my head. I know you can't see me, but I'm shaking my head.
Halo's its own thing, though. You know, it's I wasn't expecting to see, like, I've never seen anything like this before. I imagine where that effect will kick in is once they've shown the true scale of it in terms of, like, how open the world is. Because on the map, the area they're showing is very, very small. I actually thought it was a terrible demo. I will say that. We did a Q&A session afterwards as well, and I've never, like, considering they've been sitting on this for whatever, 4 years, and like.
Sorry to cut across you, Matthew, but we do have to say, Cyrus the Virus Azima has given us $20. Thank you very much, Cyrus. Looking sharp, enjoying this new format. Thank you, Cyrus.
Thank you very much.
Sorry,
very
Matthew. Carry on.
So I don't know. Like, I feel like there's still potential for this to have a bit of magic to it. You know, the early trailer they did for the engine, where they just showed, like, a warthog driving across a massive plane. Like, I was really, really up for that. It's. I don't think you can write this off. I'm sort of surprised that they didn't put a better foot forward, because it's like the demo, like, just what happens in the demo is quite boring, you know.
But it's Halo. I don't know what people were expecting, but obviously they were, like, unlike you, they were going, no, this is next gen. This is the Xbox Series X. We want to see, you know, something shit hot, and to their eyes, they didn't get it, which again was addressed in the Halo Waypoint blog. So on the fidelity, here's the quote. We've read your comments, we've seen the homemade examples of retouched content, and yes, we've heard the Digital Foundry assessments. In many ways, we are in agreement here. We do have work to do, to address some of these areas and raise the level of fidelity and overall presentation for the final game. The build used to run the campaign demo was work in progress from several weeks ago, with a variety of graphical elements and game systems still being finished and polished. While some of the feedback was expected and speaks to areas already in progress, other aspects of the feedback have brought new opportunities and considerations to light that the team is taking very seriously and working to assess. Like, obviously the backlash was, you know, the gaming community, true to form, little bit OTT. I like you, I wasn't expecting to be wowed by some sort of graphical advancements, but at the same time, like the people at home can see here, it looks fine. It looks like a Halo to me. I don't know what people were expecting. You see the lovely.
They should have jumped in a plane at the end, taken off, and shown, like, the whole Halo ring that you're going to be exploring or something. They should have done something where you're like, oh wow, you know, it looks like Halo but scaled up. This looks like it could be a Halo level from any Halo.
I mean, okay, fair. Like, but I will say one thing that Microsoft have been doing. I don't know if you've seen this, but do you know the Craig the Brute stuff? Have you seen this? Right. Yeah. No. Your groan is. It's necessary. It's necessary.
When you lean into a meme which is making fun of you, and you try and own it, that's kind of embarrassing.
I disagree.
That's like school bullies tip like, you know, a bit of milk into your trousers, and then you get the whole pint, and you're like, I love it, and you keep pouring it in, and you're like, more milk, please, and then everyone's like, oh, this guy's lost it.
I think what they're doing is clever. I think Phil Spencer, like, tweeting the thing and just being like, yeah, he's our new mascot or whatever. I think that's clever because
that's classic milk trousers.
It is, but it shuts people up.
That's not from experience, by the way.
But what it does is instantly it makes that uncool, and therefore people will go, oh, you like us making fun of you? Well, we'll stop. So, and that's what it does. And I think it's a good tactic from them to try and quash the haters a little bit. But yeah, I don't know. I wasn't expecting anything to wow me, and I thought it looked completely fine. But I don't know. We will see. We will see.
Our colleague Nate is really into the angry gorilla in it. I think he's the only person in the world who's really into the baddie.
Is he?
So there's that.
That baddie hasn't been in previous Halo games, have they?
No.
That's not anything new. Well, it's something to look forward to then. In other news, and keeping it sort of Xbox flavored, Fable MMO, Matthew. How excited
it's not an MMO.
are you?
It's not an MMO.
Is it not? Is it not?
Yeah, that's
an
what they've
MMO,
said.
Matthew?
Yeah.
Well, have they?
Yeah, haven't they? Oh, this is good. This is why it's the pilot.
Well, what they've said, unless they've said something since, Matt Booty, head of studios at Microsoft, spoke with The Guardian about Fable and its developer Playground Games, and said, it's exciting. Playground Games have a real passion for the IP, etc., etc. But in response to all the MMO rumours floating about, Booty said, completely dodging it, with any kind of franchise like that, where you've had existing versions, there's always that balance between what you're going to bring forward, what still stands up, and what you want to add that's new. It's like the challenge of making a new Star Wars movie. There's stuff that everyone wants you to bring along, but then you've got a responsibility to that, to new places, and I trust Playground has a good vision for that. So completely bypassing anything about the MMO rumours. Matthew Castle, to be honest with you, I've mainly included this because you're a Halo fan? Am I
big
right
Halo fan.
That?
Yeah, I love Halo 2 particularly.
How excited would you be if this does turn out to be an MMO? Because foolishly, when this first was shown off, I think all of us naturally didn't see the lack of a digit at the end of the name. We were just, it's Halo 4. It's it. No. It's Halo. Sorry, Fable. And it's like, no. It's just Fable. There is no number here. Like, could this be a sort of a reimagining and them going down that MMO route? Is that?
I'm basing it entirely on nothing, but no, I don't think they will. I don't think that's what anyone wants from this series at all. And I don't think they'll do that. I think it will be quite different to the older Fable. I think, there's been so many open world games made since Fable 3 to take lessons from that they'll probably be trying to tap into, I'd imagine. I think Matt Booty's all his quotes to me sounded like, this is going to have changed and evolved in the way that modern open world RPGs have. But no, I don't. I think I'll have an online component. Sure, the originals had some elements of co-op.
They were but not online though, were they? Like I have no history.
You
with
could play.
Fable.
You could play. You could play Fable 2, and could you play 3 online? 2 definitely had co-op. But
I know Fable 3 had Michael Fassbender, a young Michael Fassbender, didn't it?
Yeah,
John Cleese. It had a star. Simon Pegg. I think all of the Band of Brothers cast was in there.
All of your favourites.
Some shape
no David Schwimmer though.
No, shame. So yeah, well, we'll see. Fingers crossed.
But I'm really excited for Fable. I thought the trailer. My one observation was that the trailer seems to be. It looks to be like an earlier Albion. Like it hasn't got all the kind of industrial stuff, which is what that as the games were going on, they were kind of moving through time, and the world was becoming like more industrialized and sort of more kind of Dickensian. I'd be interested if they go right back and do like a proper kind of Age of Magic stuff.
Would you be interested in a Fable set during the Cold War? Could I interest you in that?
No, I'd hate that.
Okay, well, would you like a Call of Duty set in the Cold War?
Oh, only if it's endorsed by Doritos.
Oh, look at that! This is we're going now. We're going now. Apparently, the next Call of Duty game will be. I think it's even called Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, according to some Doritos packaging. This was reported by Modern Warzone.
According to some Doritos. Imagine that's your news informant, a packet of crisps.
So,
I heard from a source, a delicious source, with orange Dorito dust around his mouth.
So
I won't name my source, but I will say he was very Moorish.
Well, the promo was about unlocking double XP for a year in COD Black Ops Cold War, and it said on the small print that this promo kicks off on the 5th of October. Now, it has been rumoured that the next COD would be subtitled Black Ops CIA. There was initially an alpha test or something for a game from Activision that popped up in the Microsoft Store called The Red Door. But it now seems that they've just kind of dropped any sort of subtlety and they've just gone, yes, Call of Duty Cold War. It does that excite you, Matthew? The idea of going to Cold War this is like, because we obviously don't have any of the Cold War games, so I'm showing you footage from Black Ops 4, which of course didn't have a single player, and that's what I come to Call of Duty for. I don't. Was Blackout campaigns? Blackout was. I enjoyed Blackout, but at the same time, I want a bombastic single player. So if you're gonna have that set in the Cold War, I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? 5 or 6 hours of explosions and stuff, I'm in. Are you in, Matt?
I'm more interested in the comments saying that Pringles, surely the best crisps to smuggle secrets with. That's very good from Castaway DC. It's the tube, isn't it?
Yeah.
Good for a map. You could put
way
a map
better,
in it.
Yeah.
And if the police or whoever are looking for your secrets, you could just get, you can get your hand stuck in those tubes quite easily. Mm-hmm. It's convenient, isn't it? Just stick it in.
So not excited about Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, I take?
No, I'll be honest, I don't have any opinions on this one.
Okay. Terrific.
Like, it's shooting with different era-specific guns, isn't it?
Pretty much, yeah. But
stabbing people in the neck to some Rolling Stones. Eh.
Who doesn't want to do that? Well, Matthew, whilst you may not be that excited for...
I'd like if it was like The Americans. Mm-hmm. I've just watched that. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't seen it. No, is that the Damon
Spy? It's like Russian spies posing as American family. They did a COD campaign where you just had to like take your kids to school and not get caught as spies. I'd be up for that.
Well,
anyone else?
It's a shame that you're not that into Blops, fucking whatever it was called, Cold War, because sorry, I'm trying to set up the next clip. Because I believe you're not that into Square Enix's Marvel's Avengers either, which is the next topic.
You've picked the hottest headlines for our hot takes.
I have indeed. So at the most recent.
Does anyone care about Marvel's Avengers?
Let me do the story first before we talk about that.
We can get that going in the background.
As Crystal Dynamics' latest War Table video thing, they announced that the first DLC character for Marvel's Avengers was going to be this guy, Hawkeye, but skinhead Hawkeye. Right. So and they spoke about like the beta. The open beta will begin on the 21st of August, but PC players can get in a week earlier on the 14th if they pre-order.
Oh.
Yes, so it's not just PC players can't just get in. Now, yeah, the main reason I've brought this up, Matthew, is because you have a real bee in your bonnet about Marvel's Avengers, and I want to get to the bottom as to why. Like, what is it about this game that you detest?
I don't detest it.
You hate, really, like a guttural reaction anytime you see it.
I'm just sort of weirdly indifferent to it. I don't know. I can't remember a game that's had less impact on me. Like every second I've seen of it, you know, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look bad. It just doesn't look like anything. It certainly doesn't look like the Avengers you see at the cinema. But I don't even care about that. Like maybe I just don't care enough about the Avengers. Either way.
Do you care about the MCU? Is that?
No, not really.
Okay.
Like, I mean, the one thing it could do that the films don't do is to finally give them a really killer theme tune. I hate the music in the MCU. Do you remember? Do you remember when you used to be able to come out of the cinema humming the superheroes theme tune? Everyone knows Tim Burton's Batman or the Richard Donner Superman, but Marvel, this involves trumpets, doesn't it? Like, I just want a killer theme tune. That's how it could get me interested. That's my hot take.
Well, you're not the only one, because even taking a live reaction, it appears that the majority of the people in the chat also not interested. Like, the thing that doesn't interest me is the Destiny-ness of it, I suppose. But if you're into that...
Someone in the comments says, oh, is this going to be the famous Castle Marvel music rant? Lo and behold.
But it's...
I'm
like,
so cliched.
You like Destiny, don't you? Is that a thing?
I don't mind it. I don't mind. I've not got anything against the whole kind of loot-driven RPG shooter thing. Like, I don't know. I don't really understand. Like those maybe it's because the heroes are so well defined. Like you kind of know what their powers are. The idea that you're going to unlock a better Mjolnir. Is that a thing that happens in this game? Like, I get Iron Man getting different bits of the suit, but like Hulk, what? Like the only thing the Hulk has is stretchy pants. Like he's just gonna have a range of pants because that's weird.
Well, yes, it does appear that the majority of people not really interested in Marvel.
I've got nothing against the film. I've got nothing against the film. I've watched them all, and they're all fine. You know, maybe it's one you need to play for it to make sense. I'd be surprised. I like Crystal Dynamics stuff. I really like the Tomb Raider games. You know, they're not a bad studio. It just, I don't know, something about it. It's just maybe it feels a bit after the fact as well. You know what I mean? Because its
end game has passed.
And I know it's not tied to it, but it's sort of.
But like
remember the Avengers?
Yeah, like it may not be tied to the MCU, but we're all going to tie it to the MCU. Like, you know, and that's why the initial trailer had such a poor reaction, I think, or in large part, because people were like, that's not Robert Downey Jr. What's this about? So I don't know. It's on a hiding to nothing. It needs to do a lot to get people interested, really. But a game that would need to do, to be honest with you, it could do nothing to get me interested in it. It's Warframe. But maybe, Matthew Castle, you might be able to get me interested in this. Now, you're gonna take point on this, but the new Warframe DLC, what's it called? Heart of Deimos?
Deimos.
This was announced. Matthew, you take point. Please say words about Warframe.
Well, yeah, so they had TennoCon on Saturday, which is the big Warframe convention. Obviously, this year it was just a stream because social distancing. I'm kind of, it's really weird. So I'm really interested in Warframe. I've played not masses by relative to how many hours people tend to play. I mean, this is literally a kind of, people make an entire life within Warframe, don't they? They play for thousands of hours, and I'm not even into the hundreds, I don't think. But I'm really interested in this one because it was always this, when it was first announced, I remember working on magazines and people were like, oh, Warframe, we kept getting PRs going, you want to talk about Warframe? You want to see this, you want to see that? And we were just never interested. Like, we really wrote it off, like, from its initial release. Not foolishly necessarily, it was a very different game, but then it's just grown and grown and grown into this absurdly overblown free-to-play thing, and it is free-to-play. It's basically like a free-to-play Destiny, except the updates are, they're absolutely massive. It's sort of changed beyond recognition. The team are. It's is it right to say it's self-published? I guess yes, it is. So, the team sort of talk directly to their community. They're really, really transparent about stuff, which means they sometimes show stuff off years in advance that like becomes big running joke in the community. So, and TennoCon is basically their big chance to say, this is the next big thing that's going to happen.
Right. Okay.
And this year, it is the Heart of Deimos, which is this, which combines lots of different things. The meat of it is a new open world area, which is this sort of infested planet, which infested one of the sort of the three kind of enemy kind of factions, and it's like a sort of a alien zombie hive world, a lot smaller than their other open worlds. But they keep saying it's smaller but more compact. It's more dense with features, and it's got this big sort of procedurally generated labyrinth of tunnels underneath.
I mean, that's what I want to hear when anyone's kind of hyping up their open world. I don't want the classic, it's 86 times bigger than Skyrim. I want, it's smaller than Skyrim, but it's dense. There are things
huge.
to do.
Warframe is absolutely massive, and I think the thing about it is that there are people who've played it the whole time, have a very different relationship with people like me I'm still playing through all the content initially. Like I haven't done all the long since done all the original content, but there's so much stuff I haven't done. So actually these new additions tend to hit, they seem quite novel to me. When I hit them, I'm like, I'm not overpowered. I'm not. They don't just become another grindy thing, which is basically what happens. This is a big grinding for loot, grinding for materials to build new things. And every update at the high level is basically just adding more stuff to grind for the community. But if you just go in as like I'm just going to make my way through it at a simple pace, there's shitloads of game, and it's quite interesting. They add really interesting stuff. They added big spaceships last year for big sort of star battles, where you kind of a co-op team kind of controlling the ship. This one's quite traditional after that. Like it's another open world. The big thing is that they let you transfer and customize Warframes with other Warframe abilities, which you weren't able to do before. That could have quite big ramifications. It's rather grim. You have to feed your Warframes to this like alien being inside your ship. And then they sort of get sucked into the wall and digest over 24 hours, and then you can put their abilities into other Warframes. I don't know, like the surface level details, which is kind of what I'm like more of a level I'm at, I always find really interesting, and there seems to be a constant flow of new stuff. But I do understand that if you're playing for thousands of hours, it's quite different. But it's very polished and interesting and weird, and like it's not a boring game to be interested in, considering it's free.
It is. I mean, I being a little bit blasé about it just because I don't really know much about Warframe, to be honest, but I know that the community is. I don't know. Is it fair to say that Warframe is maybe an oft forgotten game from a certain section of the video game playing public, but like one that has a rabid and loyal audience?
Yeah, definitely. And if you really get into it, I wouldn't say I'm part of the community by any stretch of the imagination. I sort of dip in when I need to cover it, really, for the site or for videos. I think it's like as a free, like there are plenty of more boring things you can be that are free out there. And I like the team. I think the team are really interesting. I like the way they talk about their game. Like to interview them, they talk in an interesting way about the game. And I think you have to put up with some frustrations because they tell you stuff which sounds great, and then it maybe never manifests, or it takes 3 years to appear, or whatever.
Right,
but I'll take that over the sort of monolithic kind of EA who are completely unknowable, and they'll tell you the 5 facts about FIFA like 2 weeks before it comes out. I'll take.
Comparing Warframe to FIFA, Is that?
No, I never, no, not at all. They're completely different. But I'll take a team that is really transparent and makes wonky updates and gets stuff wrong, but is kind of open about it. I just think they're a way more interesting group of game makers than a lot of. I'm singling out EA. Most of the big publishers.
No, but what you're saying is very fair. I've had this discussion with people before. Like in films, you'll often know, like, I don't know, whatever, the Toy Story fucking 5 or whatever is being made, and you'll know that for years, as far as I'm aware, Toy Story, I don't have insider knowledge, but you'll have, they'll make the announcement, and you'll know for years and years and years and years and years, whereas in games, it doesn't really happen that way. Like it is more, I don't know, maybe that you'll get a 2-year lead time, but in movies, it does seem to be a lot longer. Like, and you're saying Warframe kind of take that mentality.
Well, it's just a rolling development cycle and an open one. Like they're like, honestly, you should if you follow their like dev streams and whatnot, they even them on Twitter, Steve Sinclair, who I don't know what his technical role is, but it's sort of like the big driver of a lot of stuff there. Is streaming like work in progress builds and showing stuff off as he's making it. It's a massive thing that is really open. Which I think is cool. Oh, now you've just confirmed Toy Story 5 for the comments.
Matthew?
Rebel Without Clues asked us to compare Warframe to Anthem. Warframe is like, if Anthem was like got it right, I guess. Like, it's kind of similar, but I don't know. Space ninjas are better than space jetpacks, I think. Although Warframe has space jetpacks as well. It has both things.
Matthew, I honestly didn't think we would get as much out of Warframe, so thank you very much.
Well, I've been writing about it. I've been writing about the update all day today.
But can we get as much out of Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice, a game I know you hold near and dear, and it's in the news again because it's getting a free update this October. Now, it's adding outfits and whatever other cosmetics that, to be honest with you, who cares? But the big things that are being added are a boss rush mode, which is, what's the boss? The boss rush mode is called Gauntlet of Strength, but then there's another mode called Reflections of Strength, which allows you to go back, and I believe I'm getting this right, allows you to go back and challenge a specific boss. There are also these things called Remnants, which are 30-second recordings that you can make of yourself, and you can send these to other players' worlds. So, I don't know, so you can share strategies, say hello, whatever you want to do. Could it drag you back into Sekiro, Matthew, or is that ship has sailed? It was a single player. It's done for you.
Confession time. I haven't finished Sekiro. I'm stuck on it. It's so.
Do you want me to edit this part out?
No, that's fine. That's fine. It's kind of hilarious because we've got a really successful Sekiro tips video, which I made when I was on a real run with the game and was like, I'll get this made. And you get people going like, oh, this guy really knows what he's talking about. And it's like, not if you saw me after the video.
Very honest to you, Matthew.
Listen, I'll put my hands up to it. I am bad at From Software games. I just don't have the patience for them. They're famed for their boss battles. So, like, is this an option to replay those? Rush? Yeah, I think there are a lot of people who replay them endlessly simply to get to the boss battles and relive them. So that makes sense. I don't know if a 30-second video is going to help massively because a lot of these fights are like quite substantial. Like they would take me much longer than 30 seconds. Well, so I don't know. I don't know what I'd necessarily get out of that. But considering like we hadn't heard any more about this game, I mean, it's free stuff. You wouldn't sneer at it, would you?
No. If you're into that, like you, to be honest, I'm just not good enough for From Software games. I can appreciate them from afar.
Yeah.
From Software, very good at what they do, but I let them do it over there, and I'll stand over here.
This is the most I've got on with one, but
in Sekiro,
you can do some sneaky stuff to like cheese it.
Yeah. And was that's when they introduced the Yeah, is it called poise or stance or whatever it's called in Sekiro?
It's a posture, is it?
Posture, yeah. Basically, there were every game for about 6 months had like a posture.
Well, it's like well, you had that Star Wars, which was like easy Sekiro.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Well, speaking of games, Matthew Castle, as Colm Ahern tries to bring up. Speaking of games, here's one for you. Speaking of games that are old and being brought back, kind of, because Sekiro being brought. Just go with me on this, Matthew. All right. Battletoads, Matthew, is launching on the 20th of August, and the main reason I've included this is because I know, Matthew Castle, you're a fan of Rare, and you're a fan of.
I mean, sure, let's go with it.
You're a fan of like basically, you know, the old Nintendo games and all that. Like just Battletoads, the revamped art style and you know the hardcore gameplay. No, I'm not. I'm sensing I'm getting nothing here.
I like so the first time I played Battletoads was part of the Rare Replay collection. Like I didn't own it back in the day. Like it's fine. I don't have a huge nostalgia. How did this come about? Was it a meme? Is it Microsoft leaning into a meme again? Like everyone kept saying, make Battletoads, so they did to try and like be cool with the kids.
I think so. Yeah, that's my memory of it anyway. But it is a little bit. I don't know. I know
really
also
make game decisions like that, should you?
I don't know if there's a little bit of the Mirror's Edge to it as well, in that some people were actually calling for this, and it was just like, oh, fine, we'll make it and you know shut people up. But look, yeah. I have no history with sides. I have no history with Battletoads. I should say, but I do enjoy a side-scrolling beat 'em up.
Oh yeah, it doesn't look anywhere near as good as Streets of Rage though, the new one.
It's a different art style. Like, I mean, that bit where they're driving along, that looks a bit iffy, perhaps. But I don't mind the kind of Saturday morning cartoon art style. I don't know. It's
been done better, hasn't it? Like, you know, like the Rayman Origins and Legends, and
I mean, like, Jesus, yeah.
I'll give it a fair go when it comes out, but yeah.
One thing that I will be giving a fair go of when it comes out.
Yeah, I agree. In the comments, Quarky says the art style is so bland, and I'm on board with that. But this doesn't do it for me. It looks a bit flat.
One thing that I'll be giving a fair go of, Matthew Castle, is Splinter Cell. It's back, baby. Yes. Oh God, Splinter Cell finally, Matthew. They're releasing a new Splinter Cell.
No, not in.
So, yes, Splinter Cell. Yeah, what? They're not releasing a new Splinter Cell, Matthew. Why are you shaking your head?
They're not releasing the Splinter Cell you want.
What? Oh no! What are they doing, Matthew? Go on, this is your time to shine. Go on.
They're making a Netflix show, aren't they?
Yes, they are. All right, fine. I was giving you your time to shine, but I'll take it. So yes, they are. They're making a 16-part, as I bring it up here. Supposedly, Netflix have ordered a 2-season, 16-episode run of Sam Fisher's animated hijinks. I'm terribly upset, Matthew. We're never going to get Splinter Cell back, are we? He's going to pop up in Ghost Recon. He in the mobile game, what was that called? Elite Heroes or whatever it was. He probably appeared in Brawlhalla, and he's going to be in an
Sorry,
anime.
Arathir in the comments. I hope that wasn't misleading. I know.
Oh, really? So sorry, Arathir, if you actually thought I was being serious. No, Splinter Cell is not back. It is most definitely not back.
I'd love for it to be back. I love me some Splinter Cell. But I have no interest in a cartoon Netflix show about Sam Fisher.
Like, even I thought Blacklist was great. I thought Blacklist, if anything, was a little bit underrated. Now, I'm sure somebody would go, actually, it has an 87 on Metacritic. I don't know off the top of my head. But it seems like Blacklist came out and was forgotten about. And all right, it didn't have Ironside or whatever, But fuck, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really quality stealth game. To be honest, if we're in a safe space and we can be truthful with one another, I probably enjoyed it a little bit more than Metal Gear Solid 5. All right?
Oh,
I'm saying.
no.
I'm sorry.
No. I'm sorry. That's obscene.
I'm putting it out there. I probably enjoyed it a little bit more. But yeah, Splinter Cell.
I knew we should have asked about this in job interviews.
Splinter Cell is probably never going to come back.
No, I think it'll come back one day.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
they've had time.
Yeah. They love it. Like
they love sticking Sam Fisher in other games. They don't love Sam Fisher.
I think you can. It's a good game for like a big shiny graphical showcase of the next gen. You know, with like insane lightings, because that's all. You know, that's kind of what it sort of sold itself on originally, wasn't it?
Well, where is it then, Matthew?
Well, I think it will happen at some point.
Where is it?
They've got to Ubisoft have got to get rid of all their wrong-uns first, haven't they?
Well,
before
that
they
is
start.
true.
Because there's no point making something good if it's just a load of wrong-uns making it.
True enough, yeah.
You know, they'll have a purge and then they'll get on with it. Don't taint a good Splinter Cell game with that.
You've turned me around, Matthew. Yes. So, as well as that, in other telly news, very briefly, and related to Splinter Cell, its stablemate, Beyond Good and Evil 2, that is apparently getting a Netflix motion picture, not an anime. But like Uncharted, BioShock, Gears of War, and numerous other things, it'll probably never get made. But one thing that probably will get made is The Witcher Blood Oranges, which is oranges. I didn't even do that on purpose. It's going to be a live-action 6-part prequel before the Geralt of Rivia, what's his name? The fellow who made the PC, Matthew. Henry Cavill. A prequel.
Oh, right, yeah, sorry. Yeah, you lost me there for a second. Yeah.
So
I was thinking of Assassin's Creed. I was like, Geralt? Eh?
Do either of those interest you, Matthew? Could I interest you in a Beyond Good and Evil 2 film or a Witcher? Did you watch The Witcher?
I hope it doesn't get us massively downvoted. I don't really care about Beyond Good and Evil. I think the first one is incredibly overrated. And the second one just looks like just a mess of idea. I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense
monkeys,
to me.
Matthew. It's swearing monkeys. It's brilliant.
It doesn't do it for me at all. I literally couldn't care less. Witcher stuff I love, so I'm up for that. But Beyond Good and Evil, like, you know, the new Beyond Good and Evil doesn't look like it has anything like to do with the original.
No,
I just don't get it. I don't get how you can be excited for what. Like, it may as well just be a new game with a different name, like with a different game with the same name. I don't know.
Yeah, no. To be fair, it doesn't look like. Well, it's a. I'm trying to remember. Is it a prequel or a sequel? No, it's a sequel, but it's set like way after Jade. I'm pretty sure. So essentially, they're just using
her
the
uncle's a pig.
Name.
It just doesn't make any sense.
Look, if we're gonna pick holes in video games,
wasn't her uncle called Pig?
Paige.
Yeah.
Pay apostrophe J, if memory serves.
I assumed it was pronounced like Pierre. Pierre.
But whilst you're not interested in Beyond Good and Evil 2, I know you. If I know you, Matthew Castle, you are champing at the bit to talk about what Epic's been up to. They've added achievements and mods. Well, at least they're testing them out. So, I
should have vetoed these news stories before we started.
The thing is, look, we'll 2 seconds. They're starting out achievements. Epic. They've shown some off for Ark Survival Evolved via their Twitter. And they've also rolled out mods as well for MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries. There's like a mod tab on the game. Now, first of all, are you into achievements? I know there's a special breed of human who is. Is that you?
They used to, I don't know. I feel like achievements died a bit this last generation. Like when they first came out, they were really fun. There were loads of there were actually some really good like talks at GDC and things about like the science of achievements, both from like Microsoft had like there were a bit. This is a long time ago, but I remember there was a big document leaked, which was like their internal research about like the psychology behind different kinds of achievements and to offer kind of guidance for building good achievements. And I felt like there used to be a really like fun art to them. Like they were a way of drawing out stuff in games. You know, they were you know, like a secret, like just a way of pushing people towards certain mechanics. And you know, I remember watching people do like the famously hard achievements or whatever. But I feel like this generation, like I couldn't probably name a single achievement. You know, like I couldn't think of anything where I was like, oh yeah, that was memorable in the way that the older achievements were.
So you think
in Dishonored 2, there's that one for breaking the Jindosh lock to get into the house. That was quite good.
But are you saying that achievements over the last however many 5-6 years have just become finish level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4?
Yeah, and it's just like and then platinum it and blah blah blah. Platinum, just complete the game 100%. That's boring. Like just like they just become checkpoints along the way, and yeah, I don't know. I just don't feel there's I don't feel there's much fun in them anymore. So I don't really care. Does anyone care about these things in the chat comments? Do people?
I mean, yeah. Well, I did see that Paul said I couldn't care less about achievements personally, but mod support is good news.
Yeah, mod support is good news.
It is like it's not Steam Workshop at the minute, and that's obviously what people will be hoping it will turn into, and that's what these show me. They're adding, testing out achievements, testing out mods. Is that listen, right? I know some people lose their minds over a game being on the Epic Game Store, as you were aware as well, Matthew. To me, it's like, why do I care? I don't care wherever. If you're going to make more money on Epic, release it on Epic. But the only thing I would give credence to those like complaints, or that does give credence to those complaints, is that the functionality within Steam is certainly better. You know, like whether it be your family sharing or your achievements if you're into it, or the workshop or whatever. And Epic has to get to that point. Like it is quite bare bones at the minute. But, you know, this whilst you mightn't care about achievements, this at least shows you that they're tweaking with the store.
I mean, the store, you know, for it to be a competitive store beyond just giving away stuff for free and owning all the games exclusively, you know, that's better. I mean, there's lots of games they've had which feel like they're fit for modding, and it's sort of hindered them that they didn't have that support. So yeah, I mean, it's good. I don't know, the Epic thing. I'm like, it's a weird one. I think coming from a largely console background, like earlier in my career, where there is just total control of the platform.
Yeah,
it seems less sort of egregious to me, like what Epic do. But I understand that, like, if you've always avoided consoles, you don't want them to behave. You don't want PC to behave like those sort of closed systems or whatever. And I get that, but it's not something I get too het up about personally. But maybe that's
because you're a rational human being, Matthew.
Well, I'm just a fence. I'm a terrible fence sitter.
But kind of keeping it on the digital storefront, exciting news. Now, this is only a very, very short story, but I thought it was a little bit interesting. So Valve have made it harder for you to change your store country on Steam. Now, whilst at first you might be like, oh, I want the cheap games. This is bullshit. Well, like, this is good because most recently, this happened with Horizon Zero Dawn, where many people were going to I think it was the Argentinian store, if I try and find it here in my notes, where it was like, it was $7 in and around. So loads of people flocked to the Argentinian the Argentinian Steam store and tried to buy it from there, which then inflated the price, making it not impossible, but harder, I suppose, for people in Argentina to buy it.
Right, yeah.
So if they're locking people out, I don't think that's horrendous. I've never really dabbled with VPNs for storefronts, probably just because I'm too lazy. I don't know. If the price is there, I'll be like, all right, that's the price then. Cool.
Yeah, I mean, like, again, people like having big openness on PC, I guess. But if it gets to the point where you're screwing over, you know,
countries,
entire countries,
yeah.
It's not great. There you go. How's that for a hot take? I don't think it's great to screw over countries, says the notorious fence sitter.
No, yeah, a fabulous take from you, Matthew. So there is all the news. Again, thank you very much. I didn't think we'd get as much out of Warframe as we did.
Oh,
but now,
sorry, I didn't mean to drone on.
Now it is time to discuss the games that we have been playing in a little segment that we like to call. And remember, Matthew, you've made the little bumper for this.
The sound better play on this.
The sound will play on this. This better be good. All right, if this isn't good, I'm going to be so cross with you. But yes, this is a little segment that we like to call Show and Tell.
Show and tell. Show and tell. We can't afford a proper jingle. It's meant to be jingle. Show.
What the fuck was that, Matthew? You've had weeks upon weeks. This is. Hang on, I want to watch this again. Because there's a lot of things to dissect.
Show and tell. We can't afford a proper jingle. It's meant to be jingle.
All right. Okay. I'll give you well done for the backing vocals. I will say that. That's impressive.
Actually, there's two late. I went proper a cappella on it. Like there's me singing, and then I also did the tune underneath it. I layered myself up. Do you remember that guy who used to do Zelda? The guy, he was more beard than man. I think he was Beardy McFlute Man or something. He was a YouTuber, and he did layered up Zelda.
Right.
Oh yeah. That's it. The comments. That's it. The comments are on board.
But okay, right.
Oh, thank you, comments. That's really made my day. I spent a long time on this. So
why are you cosplaying as Noddy? What's this about? Why do I have shit colored pants, or have I just rock music? And why are we holding copies of Halo 2?
Well, there's a
Yeah, go on, please, go on.
Well, I thought, you have facial piercings, so you must love rock music, right? So that's why I gave you an iconic rock music shirt.
Yeah.
I had the only game box I happened to have on my desktop was Halo 2 Games for Windows Live.
Okay.
So that's why we're holding that.
Yeah.
I don't know where my other hand went. And I don't know, they're shorts.
Mm-hmm.
But I couldn't on Paint. I couldn't work out how to get I couldn't work out how to change the color palette. So I just I just gave myself bright red Noddy shorts. But
you have one more chance. You have one more chance, Matthew.
Okay.
With the mystery Steam reviews jingle. So
yeah.
But you better show me effort in that. But before we get onto that, Matthew, I want you to tell me all about Microsoft Flight Simulator, a game that you have been quoted as saying is wonderful. So do tell, why is it wonderful, and how? I suppose we should say you haven't played the whole thing. You've played a preview build, a decent a considerable chunk of a preview build. But yeah, it's not a review, etc., etc. But yeah, tell me, Flight Simulator. You're not normally into flight simulators, but what's grabbed you about this one?
Yeah, so I don't know if you've seen the video already.
I have, of course.
I put a video out about it on Friday, which hopefully we're going to see some footage from. It's all very shiny. This is basically that without me gabbing over the top of it. So I'll put my hands up and say I was actually quite nervous about covering this, making a video about it. because I've not played a flight sim before. Well, rather, I haven't played one since I was about 10, where in my head, flight sims were kind of things that were on your other dad's computers.
Yeah.
And I never really understood it. Like, I honestly don't think I could even take off in Flight Sim 95. Like, genuinely very, very bad at it.
Yeah.
This one, obviously, they showed the footage at E3 last year, and I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe like how a game could look the way it looks. As Gert Tarter says in the comments, this should have been shown at the Xbox Showcase. It's a staggering looking game.
But again, you're like you said, and I'm similar to you. I always saw flight simulator games as, I don't know, like complete. It wasn't even in my like video game releases calendar. I wasn't even thinking about Flight Simulator or the other games, but this one has sort of penetrated the masses. Excuse the phrase.
Well, it's really interesting. So when I've interviewed the team. I'm going to be making more videos. I'm going to make a video later this week, which has some of my interview stuff in. So do keep an eye out for that. But I sort of said, well, this feels to me like it's like the broad appeal of like, explore this incredible simulated world feels like a big push to try and give the series a broader appeal. And they were very insistent that this is a simmers. This is still a game for simmers. Like not even a game. They call it a simulator. This is something I learned in my video. I kept calling it a game and had lots of comments going, "It's not a game. It's a simulation." But like I was playing it like a game. Like I played it like I played Pilot Wings, basically.
Right. Okay.
But so they're really insistent, and this is also one of the reasons I was a little bit like apprehensive about talking about it in the video and covering it on the channel, because I knew that I couldn't really talk about it in simulation terms, like the plain physics modeling or whatnot. Like I'll put my hands up and say I don't really know how accurate it feels, how nice it is. I feel like I'm sort of gawping at this game. But from the reaction to the video and the comments on it, it feels like there are lots of other people who are in the same boat. There are lots of people who don't necessarily want to like learn to fly properly or connect with the simulation side of it. They just want to see the world they've built, which is kind of how I tackled it. And maybe that's a bit reductive because there's obviously a great deal of stuff going on in this game.
I suppose, what is it then that, because you've like what is it that's grabbed you about this game then? Like, is it literally just the visuals?
It's not just the visuals. I mean, there is like it sounds dumb to be like they're aerial visuals for a starter, but like there, you are seeing the world from a certain perspective. It does look realistic, but you're in the sky. It simulates to some degree the sensation of being in the air, and that's why in the video I talked about the night stuff feeling particularly photorealistic, because it really is like looking out of a, when you're on an airliner and you look out the window and you see like London as you come into land, or an American city. It just looks like how it looks. It is that it's the sort of fidelity of that feels kind of unreal to me. And I think actually like the flying, while I haven't connected with it on like a deep level, and like I played with lots of assists, I played some of it with an Xbox controller. There's stuff in this video which is, lots of people have said, well, you can't actually do that in that plane, or it's impossible, or and that's probably because I turned off the slider, which is the there's like a separate audio for the man in the plane going pull up or stall, and it's all beeping, which it's doing a lot of the time in this footage. You just can't hear it because I'm a total con man, but a total con man in that regard. So I went in wanting to see this world tech, like that's kind of I'll be honest about that. Like I just wanted to see like where my home looked like, how it made New York, for example.
So would it be fair to say?
What I was going to say is that as I did play it, and I played it with a artificial yoke controller and some rudder pedals. And while I was still playing with the assistant,
hold on. Excuse my ignorance. An artificial yoke controller. What's a yoke controller?
The yoke is the, like a yoke peripheral. Like the yoke is the.
It's a yoke.
Steering wheel. Isn't it?
Is this? All right.
Yeah.
Okay. You learn something new every day.
Yeah.
Go on. Sorry. Go on.
So that and the pedals, and actually, that I did the tutorials, like the basic flying lessons, and yes, it was helping me a lot with the assists and everything. But it is pretty amazing. Like when you're there, and it's like very responding to like what you're doing in your hat. It is actually you instantly get it. It feels kind of magic in your hands a bit, and yes, and then it just became about like gliding over. I flew from like Brighton to London, and not the short flights. I haven't done any big international like sailing across the oceans or anything like that. But I don't know. It did. I wasn't just playing it to look at the graphic. I did enjoy flying around and the sensation of flying around and trying to frame it and trying to find spectacular places to fly and,
Because I was going to ask you, I'm not trying to be reductive, but like, did you enjoy it? Like, what? Or no, not did you enjoy it? Like, was it fun?
Yeah, it's fun. It's relaxing.
Okay, all right.
Considering everything else, and it has no objectives beyond what you set yourself. Like, I want to fly from here to here. Often I wasn't even taking off. I was just selecting on the map where I wanted to start, and then the plane starts in the air. So I was finding like the coordinates of cities and famous landmarks that I wanted to see, and then I was going there and just to see them. And like as a ticket to anywhere in the world, there's something magic in that, and under the video we just have lists and lists and lists of locations that people want to see. And again, I'm going to do this video later in the week, and I basically plan for all the capture in that to be the locations people have asked for. So if you're interested in seeing like a range of kind of community sourced locations, that'll be in that video is the plan. But yeah, but like it all has a practical use as well. I mean, that everything, they're talking about the fidelity of the world is important for like they call them visual flight rules, which is piloting, navigating by eye, looking for landmarks, coastlines, rivers, etc. So actually being able to see all this stuff, it is part of being piloting. Obviously, I was just doing it mainly to gawp at how nice it all looks. I think it's really interesting as well. Like it's from a tech standpoint, it's a game which is beyond what we can currently do. Like if you try and play this at 4K, 4K high end, absolutely tanks my machine. Well, it doesn't tank my machine, but it struggles. And it's a PC that can play, just about anything. Anything else, it feels like it's sort of not future proof, but it'll be a game which is only going to look more and more amazing as the years go on and we get the hardware to support it. I think a lot of people are going to go in and set it to ultra and be horrified at what it does to their PC. But the really important thing I think to understand, and this is, and that's what I did. I went in and went, I wanted to look at the trailers, ultra 4K, and my PC was just like, no, make it stop. But I'm interested how it runs on console when it comes to that. But the important thing to understand is that actually dialing it down, like its medium settings, even its low settings, it still looks amazing. Its lower options are still beyond what most games are doing. So yeah, that's my one bit of advice I'd say. If you do get it, if you're planning to get it on release day and you have these expectations of how it's going to be, is like understand the limitations, I guess.
Has it transformed you into a fan? Like has it made a fan out of you?
Oh, like I don't like. I haven't learned about planes particularly. I've learned that there is a thing called a yoke, if that helps.
as have I, yeah.
But I am. Yeah, and it's a thing I will definitely go back to. I think it's going to have a really interesting lifetime of developments, because they're going. There's going to be like big DLC packs for it, which are going to add probably new forms of flight. Like I'm pretty sure in our interview, like helicopters, for example, are probably going to be a DLC thing down the line, because they obviously have to work out the physics model for things like that, and then work in, I guess, helipads and things like that. But then there are free updates where they're going to focus on sort of continental regions or geographical regions, and like punch them up in a way, or add new missions or challenges to those particular regions. They're going to the fact is that they sort of rebuild the world internally, because they're building it from this Bing data. They're obviously constantly rebuilding it and updating it so that it's correct as possible. But there's almost this idea that they're going to like update regions, and I'm curious to see like how significant that's going to be, because something I get from the comments anyway is that traditionally in simulators there are certain regions of the world which are underserved or not shown the same love.
Yeah, basically they'll put all the resources into New York.
Yeah, they give you the big, they make the Alps amazing, and then your home isn't represented. So I'll be interested to see if actually that's going to kind of counter that in some way.
What was there not a bit in your preview video the other day where the place near the O2, what was that, Matthew? There was like basically it had it was something that should have been upright, but it was like,
oh no, there's loads of that. So the way the tech works is it takes the Bing, the flatbed data, and it identifies thing, and it's like, I know that's a house, so I'll put a generic house there, or I know that that's probably a factory, so I'll put a thing there. But there's lots of, the world is full of weird structures that don't look like anything. The difference between the cities based on photogrammetry, which are like the New York in this video, for example, and cities like Lower London isn't a photogrammetry city. So London has these like hand-built models of like the Houses of Parliament, the Shard, the Millennium Dome, but the rest of the city isn't. The rest of the city is being generated by this algorithm.
Right.
And so it gets everything in the right place, and it sort of recognizes architectural styles. So the example in the video is that Parisian architecture is different to like Dubrovnik's Old Town is the example I gave. It knows like terracotta roofs versus tiled roofs, for example.
Right. Yeah.
But there's only so much it can do, and obviously, but like that is at its worst, it's like what you would expect from a lot of other flight sims, from what I can see from just clicking through some stuff, for examples. It is a flat texture. I don't know how much. I don't know if it's wrong to focus this much on the individual ground details, because like it's fundamentally a game where you're flying quite far from these places. Like right now, you would never be doing this in the game. Like you don't fly through the streets of Las Vegas. That just doesn't, it's not a thing people do unless it's the end of Con Air, in which case it's recommended. But yeah, so like seeing things improve, I'm really interested to see like they said that they'll be fed more photogrammetry from cities that have that data on their own cities. So like they presumably people scan their own city, whoever council or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, the county council.
Yeah, but like that's the thing. So like, it's weird. London at the moment is a bit of a, considering it's this international thing, which is totally iconic. It doesn't look particularly great. So I'm curious if like something like that will get updated sort of sooner rather than later.
But again, like this is, when is it out? Is it the 18th of August? I have in my head.
But it's one of these sort of, it's a platform. It's going to evolve over time. So I mean, it can make an English village look just like how you remember it, and you know, when you get to the photorealistic stuff, it's crazy. New York is like, go to New York, fly over it at night, pause, and then turn it to day, and it's like that's a moment for me where I was like, I couldn't believe it, like how to see the, you know, the kind of blank nighttime buildings turn into their physical selves. I was like, wow, that is mind blowing.
So fair to say,
it's amazing. It's an amazing thing. I mean, whether
you're really hot on Microsoft Flight Simulator. There is a sentence that I didn't expect to be saying only a couple of months ago. So I mean, that's pretty good.
It's great, and please do like stick with the channel for more on this. We're going to be doing more on Flight Simulator. Is my to turn it into a tacky sales pitch, but
it was nice until you did that. To be honest, I was really enjoying it. Well, you were.
I'm sorry for ruining this.
But that is okay.
That's Simulator. If you want to see, go to the video and put places you want to see, and I'll try and include them in the next video. That's what you should do.
I'm more a fan of keeping my feet firmly planted on the ground.
Gone out of focus.
You have gone out of focus.
I don't know how you fix that. Well, there we go.
You do that, yeah. That was a great segue as well, Matthew, or as you would say, segue. But
I'm not sure.
Sorry, that was inside baseball banter from our conversation the other day.
Everyone's favourite.
But yes, I prefer to keep my feet firmly planted on the ground, but also while I am shrunk down to the size of an ant, Matthew Castle.
From the sublime to the ridiculous.
So Grounded, the latest game from Obsidian Entertainment, released last week on Steam and whatever else. I played it on Xbox Game Pass, or no, just Game Pass apparently. Grounded seems nice, as I said off the top. And the reason I say that is because, I haven't played enough to give you anything definitive on it. Because Grounded, it's one of those. It's not for me, Matthew. It's not for me. But at the same time, I can appreciate what it's doing, and the hook is terrific. Like, for those of us of a certain vintage, we remember Rick Moranis and the Cheerios at the end of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. We remember all that, and it was terrific. But I betcha, like, in the first 48 hours, this apparently, was it 1 million players it had? It was ludicrous anyway, however many players. The majority of them have no fucking clue what Honey, I Shrunk the Kids is, and they're amazed by this fantastic, cool new idea. And that's fine. I'm not. You
just want Rick Moranis to get his due, right?
Well, the thing is, right, that I want Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, the game. I want an action adventure where the last level is we end up in the Cheerios bowl. Like, that's what I want. And so that's why I will never fully connect with Grounded. But at the same time, like, running around the place, and as you can see here, whacking lawn mites with my crafted spear is quite fun. And like,
this looks better than I thought it was going to look.
No, it is.
From the early trailers,
good.
I thought it looked like purest ass. But actually, like, I don't know, the depth of field above the grass gives it a bit of substance.
And the thing is, like, this is early access. Like, this isn't properly out yet. But yeah, you can see here, like, this is the part where I start to lose interest a bit. Where you have me building bases and whatever, and this is very, very basic, whatever it was called, a lean-to.
This is the worst base I've ever seen.
But because I just want to go out there and I want to whack ladybirds with my spear, or I want to fight ants. Like, here, I actually thought that this was a little kind of, I wasn't sure this was real, and then this happened, and I got very scared. But it is quite, like...
Jesus, look at his red eyes.
It's genuinely a little bit terrifying. But the game is very good at, when you go out into the open world and it's daytime and there's the grass all around you and you come across a massive baseball or a can of Coke or whatever it is, like, that feeling of, I don't know, just being overwhelmed or whatever by kind of ordinary objects is quite cool. And again, you know, Honey I Shrunk the Kids, whatever.
Are the bugs and stuff actually scary?
It depends.
Are they like, you know, they give you shudders, or because they look quite cartoonish.
I mean, some of them are, but it depends on whether or not, like, you don't have to have arachnophobia to jump when a spider, when you happen across a spider. It's more about their movement. Like, I don't have arachnophobia, but I don't know, maybe I do. I was going to say I don't have arachnophobia, but I have a fear of spiders. I don't like spiders. But like, even the point there where, like, I whacked the ladybird and, you know, the big red eyes, whatever. Do you know what it is? Even if some of them are modeled in quite a cartoonish way, it's how larger they are than you. Like, you're tiny, you're minuscule in this world. And like, look at that spider. I don't know, it's the way they move and all that. I think the idea is terrific. Like, it's a really, again, it harkens back to Honey I Shrunk the Kids, and I'm sorry to keep mentioning it, but it's very, very hard to not. It's just you know, I can take or leave the crafting. I want to know more about the story and this world and why I've shrunk down, because that is in this game.
I just want to know why I've shrunk.
Like
that famous kid. Imagine that's the kid who endlessly talked about the shrinking physics in Honey I Shrunk the Kids. Why have I shrunk? That's what I'm interested in.
But like, they have said that there is a story and there is, like, you know, there's reasoning behind it. And even here you can see that I've come into this little lab thing and I walk up to this robot and they start chatting to me about bullshit, whatever. But, you know, if you go down that route, you will, I'd imagine, learn more about this world, learn more about what is actually happening, why you've shrunk down, etc., etc. It's just, I don't know how much, I don't know if it has life. I don't know if it has legs.
Well, I know that a lot of people say that in terms of actual, like, story content, this early access build is like pretty skinny, even by early access standards. It's
like, yes, yeah, there isn't much.
Like, if you actually did it like start to finish, isn't it meant to be like an hour or something? Like, it's quite.
It's apparently quite short, yeah. But I went off exploring, just trying to see what other creepy crawlies I came across and all that, and like, even, you know, that ant there looks quite cartoonish, but at the same time, he's going for me. I just got quite lucky and he got stuck in the world.
Try and sell that ant as a major threat. I'm not buying it.
It's a nice Game Pass game, is what it is.
And I always wonder with early access, like, when to jump on board. You know, like, because there's some people say there's some early access where actually your relationship with the game is, as it evolves, evolves in an interesting way. You know, like, I don't play it personally, but the Hades, for example.
Yes,
you know, I know a lot of people who say, like, because of the nature of the additions to it, you master one thing, and then there's like a new chunk for you to master, as in a new character, you know, new powers for your run. It's very well suited to it. I'd be interested if this has got the similar thing. I guess, you know, I've seen people sort of mention it, not in the same, like, saying it's as good as or whatever, but mention it in the sort of same breath as sort of Subnautica, in terms of it's a world that they're intrigued by, and as you push out into it and it develops, you know, that could become something really special, but it depends how much it grows, like, around that.
That is exactly it. And, like, a lot of the reason why I said I would have a go with this is because, you know, we have gone, this is where I'm going to go on hard sell mode, Matthew. We have been playing on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. We have been playing The Outer Worlds, which is, of course, another game from Obsidian Entertainment. And, you know, we're playing as bastards. So if you want to watch that, you should. It's a lot of fun. But The Outer Worlds is, whilst it's not the best RPG in the world or whatever, but, like, the characters and the story, and, like, I've really been enjoying kind of rediscovering that. And I'm not getting that from this yet, but the world itself I'm quite enjoying. And, you know, when it's fleshed out a little bit, hopefully there will be more character there.
I'm more excited about the ideas in the comments. Gert Tractor saying, "Can you be stepped on or eaten by a dog? That would be amazing."
Who knows? Like, fingers crossed. Yeah.
Like a giant, you know, like a colossus. Imagine if you could climb up their trousers. That'd be amazing. I'm hoping Unholy Muppet saying, "I'm hoping the devs will include rain." Do you remember in Honey I Shrunk the Kids? It's like they're like bombs, aren't they? When it rains.
But that's like the thing is. You know, we keep mentioning Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Now, I don't know if that's to the game's detriment or if it benefits from it. Because, again, as I said, I want Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, the video game. I want the story where you have the rain level. Or you have, you know... like
in a survival game, I love the idea of, like, you know, if the rain is very rare, but when it happens, it's just like, oh, shit. Everyone is like... You see the storm brewing for some time beforehand, and you're like, oh no, like when this kicks off, we are in big trouble, and it becomes like a big dramatic event. That could be awesome.
It could be cool, and that's why I will be. I think it's one that I'll be keeping my eyes on, and maybe dipping in here and there. But like even
lawnmowers. Someone suggested a lawnmower.
Gert Actor and the chances
that would be great.
Imagine
that could be like, you know, when they do I can't remember which one it was, but they did like the big kind of maybe it was Cataclysm or something in World of Warcraft. You know, you do a big update that changes the world. Maybe literally it's lawn mowing day, and the next time you come back, like half the map is just been like turned into, it's been like shredded to nothing, and you know you have to work out like where you're going to build your camp because you don't want to build it where Dad's going to put the lawnmower.
Yeah. No, there is
go
genuinely
under a barbecue and get meat. Giant sausages.
There's properly like endless possibilities with this.
Yeah.
So like,
chat made me excited about this game.
We've discussed.
As did you. You did as well, but it was
thanks. Yeah, exactly. So that is grounded, which is you can the easiest and best way to play this is on Xbox Game Pass, I think, right now.
PC, and I think just Game Pass now, I believe.
Sorry, I keep calling it Xbox Game Pass. Yes, it is no, just called Game Pass. So that is it for show and tell. And now, Matthew, it is your time to shine again, my friend. It is time for the next segment on the PC Gaming Weekspot, which is Mystery Steam Reviews. And Matthew Castle, you have once again made the little bumper for this. So we'll explain what Mystery Steam Reviews is when we get into it. But is this your proudest work? This
is special. This needs sound.
I will make sure. Is there any sort of introduction you want to give into this? Does it speak for itself?
I think I've captured the sort of the vibe or the spirit of a really iconic figure from PC gaming.
Okay, well, in that case, Matthew, without any further ado, it is time for Mystery Steam Reviews. Now,
it's time for Mystery Steam Reviews. Yeah. Gabe Newell, the man himself.
Yeah, that's who it was. Yeah. Right. Again, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to.
He recorded a message for us.
I'm gonna have to go back and dissect this again. I do want to hear it just once more. Yeah.
It's time for Mystery Steam Reviews. Yeah.
Matthew.
Yeah.
It was all worth it. That was outstanding.
Thank you.
So would you like to thank the Academy, your mother and father, God?
I'd like to thank Mr. Gabe Newell for giving us his time.
Yes, no,
that's what an abomination.
He's a busy man over in New Zealand, but he had the time to record that for us. So, Mystery Steam Reviews. This is the part of the show where our little quiz segment, where I have come up with 5 Steam reviews that are a mystery. They're for 5 different Steam games, and Matthew must guess what game is attached to which review, and then I must guess 5 that Matthew has found as well. It's pretty self-explanatory, but yes, we will get, and we're going to alternate as well. So I think I will bring it up in a second, but I think I've set it up so that I'll do, basically, it'll be 1 mystery Steam review that I've done for Matthew, then 1 Steam review that Matthew's done for me, etc., etc., etc. Are you excited, Matthew Castle?
Yeah, why not?
Jesus, just say yes. Fucking
yes,
hell.
Yes.
Right, okay.
I'm just relieved that the intro was received as well as it was.
It was terrific. It was genuinely terrific.
You don't get Gabe Newell on Eurogamer, do you? Huh?
Matthew.
Beef.
So, yes, here is your first Mystery Steam review, Matthew Castle. And I'll read out mine to you. You read out yours to me. Do you follow? Yes. Okay. So this is mine for you. My friend said he doubts this game is any better than the original and says it's not worth buying. Hasn't played the original, neither has he seen any gameplay of this or the past games. For every like, I'll give him 2 smacks, 1 backhand and 1 front hand. That was from Darkness 2156. This is a recommended review. 11 and a half hours on record when they reviewed this, 15 in total. So very much liked it. So Matthew Castle, no looking at the chat now. What is this game?
My friend said he doubts this game is any better than the original. And that's a game from this year.
Yes, I should say, these are all games released in 2020. Yeah.
Oh. Any better? He says it hasn't played the original. For every... I'm going to say...
Yep.
That's Resident Evil 3.
Matthew Castle, you are incorrect.
No! Curses!
Right, okay, if I get a lot of pressure. Okay, Matthew Castle, take it away. Do you have them to hand? Can you?
Read,
oh
God. Hang on.
Can you read this? So here, Matthew Castle, you read this one. You read this one to me. You have to read this one to me. You've
got to tell me what that last one was.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. Again, pilot episode. That was for Destroy All Humans.
Oh.
What? It was a good... What you want? What you want from me? What do you want from me? All right?
Okay. Well, I'm going to read my Steam
review.
Okay,
yeah, do read. So, yeah, Matthew Castle, your first Steam review. Do read it.
The purpose of the game is to move a few steps. Save your game, try something out 259 times while loading your game 76,039,393 times. Just a very boring game.
Not recommended, yet 16.7 hours on record.
Yeah.
So they really had to have a look at that one. The purpose of this game is to move a few steps. So it's obviously a trial and error style thing. What's a trial and error? What's a roguelike that came out this... I
won't give you a clue.
The purpose of this game is to move a few steps, save your game. I was don't flinch, don't give the game away, as it were. I was gonna say Super Hot, Mind Control Delete, but then it says save your game, which just throws me off. Because nothing else is coming to mind, and we have a schedule.
Commander Gissenheimer.
I am going to say that this game is Super Hot Mind Control Delete.
We've got a correct answer in the comments. It's Desperados 3.
But you...
The clue was in save and loading. It's a game built on quick save.
Right. Okay, but you have to tell me I'm wrong so that I can boo myself. Yeah.
Wait.
Right. Okay. All right, okay. So Matthew can so it's nil at this early
Nil.
stage. So Matthew Castle, here is your second Steam review.
Okay.
Don't let your character's name based on your loved one / crush. You'll see them die often, lol. That's from Vigilance Oriels. Recommended 6.2 hours on record, 1 hours at time of review. So don't let your character's name based on your loved ones, and I'm not misspeaking, / crush. You'll see them die often, lol. Matthew Castle.
So a game where you can rename your characters. They're named after your loved one. Don't let your
character's name based on your. Don't let your character's name based on your loved one / crush. You'll see them die often. Lol. Little bit of levity there at the end, which is nice.
You'll see. No, you can't rename them in XCOM. Is it Gears Tactics?
Has it gone orange? Is that your final answer? I'll have next week. I'll have Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Gears Tactics.
Gears Tactics. Doo-doo-doo. Matthew Castle. You have just lost £16,000.
I needed that. I needed to pay off the gangsters.
It is
no
not
one ever said
Gears.
that on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, did they?
They didn't. It is not Gears
Chris,
Tactics.
I'm ruined. And he's like, sorry, mate.
Sorry, we've given you that, but we don't want to give you that. It is not Gears Tactics, Matthew Castle. It is a game that you have played. It is Other Side. So, yeah.
You can't rename them, can you?
I don't know.
I thought they were all just generated names.
I don't know, but that's what it is anyway. Okay, so that is that one.
See your mouse cursor on the stream.
That is, I'm not sure why that's happening. But thanks very much for pointing that out.
Professional show.
So Matthew Castle, I need you to read out your second Steam review for me, please.
Okay. It's a big one. Best Moustache 2020.
Recommended 0.8 hours on record, so they didn't have to play. They didn't have to play much of it to realize that this was a good moustache, which makes me think that it must be like a lead character or someone. Best moustache.
Best Moustache 2020.
I was gonna. Who the fuck? Who brought out a Magnum PI game this year? Best Moustache 2020. Again, in the interest of time, and I cannot think of any other bearded character in video games, I am going to say, again, I know it's not a moustache, it's a fucking beard, but I'm going to say that it is Death Stranding.
I'm afraid you are wrong.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
This is a low-scoring game.
Right, go on. What game is it?
This was Gears Tactics.
Ah! Shit!
The guy had a big moustache, didn't he?
He did have a big moustache. All right, it is a low-scoring game. All right, Matthew Castle, this is your third Steam review. Still 0-0. Okay, here we go, Matthew. Here we go. Pain. And that is not recommended. 2.4 hours on record and 2.4 hours at review time.
Just
and that
the word pain.
Just the word pain from a pumpkin is the reviewer. Pain. What game would, after 2.4 hours, would you just review as pain?
Oh, yikes.
Verbalize your thoughts. What do you...
Well, I'm thinking like something which is quite hardcore, but someone maybe stumbled into accidentally. Am I heading along the right lines?
Are we allowed to give clues? I didn't realize that was because I would have asked for clues, Matthew. So I'm not telling you.
Yes, at the moment, Hairy Coo is winning. It's 0-0 to us, 1 to Hairy Coo. A game, or maybe a game that was just absolutely rancid. Oh man.
I'm gonna have to rush you.
I'm gonna say Desperados 3.
Matthew Castle.
Mm-hmm.
You are incorrect.
Oh, you sod. You sod parent.
It is not Desperados 3. It is, in fact, Death Stranding.
Oh, of course. That makes perfect sense. It's a game that
so yeah. So this segment was a good idea, wasn't it?
This is a disaster.
So Matthew, I want you to read out your third Steam review for me, please.
Right. We should have put backing music on this.
We should have. I'll do it next week.
Yeah. Who's the big meat now?
And that is a recommended review.
Yes.
6.5 hours on record, 2.8 at review time.
Who's the big meat now?
Who's the big meat now? And they liked it.
Congrats to Jacob Hayden in the comments who got Death Stranding. Sorry for that last one.
Oh, well done, Jacob. We need to keep ourselves honest now, Matthew. During the questions, we can't look at the chat. That isn't allowed.
Okay. So I was just.
But yes, no. Well done to Jacob. What was it? What the fuck was it? Who's the big meat now? Who's the big meat
and then
now?
Lots of laughing.
Has. And they liked it, obviously.
Yeah, I loved it. They were really excited.
The big meat.
Yeah, who's the big meat now? Which game character might you say that about this year?
This is released in 20. This isn't Super Meat Boy. This is.
In fact, you've played it.
Oh! I've played it. You didn't have to give me that clue, but we can be nice. Let's be nicer to each other. Let's give each other clues.
Yeah.
I've played it. Who's the big meat now? Meat. Yeah. A meaty character. I've played it.
And if you don't get it from that, you don't deserve to get it.
I'm going to say meaty, burly characters. I'm going to say Streets of Rage 4. I don't think it really makes sense, but I'm going to say Streets of Rage 4.
And is that your final answer?
Yes, that is, Chris, my final answer.
Well, I can't do it. I can't do it, Chris Tarrant. I regret to inform you that you are wrong. The first person to get it right in the comments, Unholy Muppet Carrion.
Fuck!
Another thing you don't hear on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. And then Chris Tarrant just sort of goes,
shit. Literally last week, whatever it was.
Who's the big meat now?
Yeah.
You absolutely biffed it. You're correct, Alice Bell.
Right. Okay. Matthew Castle, this is your fourth. It is still 0-0. This is your fourth Steam review. So
this is such a
listen up,
boring, unsatisfying quiz.
It's tense. Okay. Here it is. Okay the first time, but very boring after first or second playthrough. That is not recommended. 13.2 hours on record, 11.5 at review time. So, okay the first time, but very boring after first or second playthrough. They found that out after 11.5 hours. Matthew Castle. What game is that?
What game is that?
Yeah, that is the concept.
Do you think have I played it?
I don't know for definite.
Has it been on the channel?
Yes.
It has. Interesting. Instantly gets it wrong. I keep wanting to say okay the first time, boring.
Okay the first time, but very boring after first or second playthrough.
I'm going to say Streets of Rage. The new one. 4?
Correct. Yes, it is Streets of Rage 4. Matthew Castle, is that your final answer?
Wait, it's correct.
Is that your final answer?
I thought you said yes, it's correct. Right. Yes, that's my final answer.
Okay. Hold on. To add some, I'll turn off my light. Just so it's do. Matthew Castle, you came here today with nothing.
I had a tux.
You seem pretty confident. You went for Streets of Rage 4. And I can tell you now that Matthew Castle,
please God,
is the correct answer. Genuine excitement. Sorry, I think I blew people's earphones.
Oh, thank Christ for that.
Yeah. Well done. 1-0.
Fucking redeemed.
1-0 to the Castle. All right, let's see if we can keep this up. Congratulations. That's pretty good. All right, Matthew Castle, I want you to read out your 4th Steam review to me, please.
Okay. I'm going to try. There's a bit of this which was in capital letters, so I'm going to try and capture that in the reading. Oh, jeez, I can't actually remember what this is.
All right, can you not? I'll read it. I'll read it.
You can fight a big monkey with a crazy jazz orchestra in the background. I'm not sure. What more do you need?
What's wrong? What are you doing?
I can't actually remember what this one is.
Have I mentioned everyone watch? Have I mentioned this is the pilot episode? So these little snafus, they're okay. Matthew Castle, are you able to find out what game that is for?
Yeah, I can. I'll look at my history and it'll tell me which.
Okay, please do. While you're doing that, I'll try and have a think about this. You can fight a big monkey with a crazy jazz orchestra in the background.
Yeah.
Oh! I know what it is. I'm not sure. Oh, hold on. You can fight a big monkey. Balls for a for a brief second there.
Oh, I remember.
I thought it was Ape Out, but Ape Out was last year anyway, so it can't be Ape Out. This is a game. This is a game released in 2020. Yeah, definitely
on PC. This is a bit of a shiter. I'm not gonna lie.
You're okay. Released.
What games do you fight big animals in?
Monster. Chris.
Yeah.
My answer is final answer.
Yeah.
Monster Hunter World.
That's your final answer.
That is my final answer.
Colm?
Yes?
I'm going to tell you the correct answer. The correct answer...
Yeah.
...is Monster Hunter World Iceborne. You got it wrong. It's the Iceborne expansion. You got it wrong. I'm sorry, but they are different games.
I am. You're not going to give me that. You're not going to give me Monster Hunter World.
No, because it's Monster Hunter World. It's Iceborne.
Yeah, but that
specifically came out this year on PC.
That's an Are you sure that review was in the Monster Hunter World or Iceborne section and not Monster Hunter World?
It's Iceborne.
You're properly evil. A properly evil little boy.
Like it.
Okay, Matthew Castle, your final Steam review.
You just got castle.
It reads as follows. This game is like me, short and a bit of a disappointment. And that is recommended 4.2 hours on record. That game. So short. This game is like me, short and a bit of a disappointment.
So it's a game from 2020.
Correct. Yeah. And you better believe that I will be looking for the exact name of this game.
Why?
Because you're a prick.
It's short and a bit disappointing. I'm going to say Resident Evil 3. And that's my final answer. Don't even ask me. That's my final answer.
Oh, God. Wow. Okay. Matthew Castle. The score is currently 1-0. This is your final chance to get a point. And I can tell you that the answer to that mystery Steam review
is Resident Evil 3.
Is Resident Evil 3.
What a glorious day. I've won. You can't win, but I'll give you a chance to claw back some, respect.
Okay. Matthew Castle, please read out your 5th and final Steam review, even though it doesn't matter. Go on.
It does matter. It matters. This is the start of an ongoing clash. So
yeah.
The game is pretty good. You can do things that you can't do in real life, such as fighting monsters, making friends, talking to girls. 5 out of 5. And that's from Estonian Warlord.
95 hours played, 70 at review time. This game is pretty good. You do things that you can't do in real life, such as
I'm being accused of using Google in the comments.
You better not be, Matthew. Is there going to have to be a steward's inquiry?
Can you see me? Huh?
I'm
here for all to see. The game is pretty good. You can do things you can't do in real life, such as fighting monsters, making friends, talking to girls.
Talking to girls. Making friends, fighting monsters, talking to girls is throwing me. I was going to say, this game is pretty good. You could do. No, it can't be XCOM because 70 hours.
So do you make friends in XCOM?
Well, your crew, the Chimera Squad.
Yeah, you're right to look at the hours. That's a good indicator. It's I would say it's quite a famously long game. 70
hours, 95 on record.
It has been on the channel.
Curious. Have I? No, I haven't.
I don't. You didn't cover it on the channel. I did.
I'm going to have one more look at it. This game's pretty good. You can do things that you can't do IRL, such as fighting monsters, making friends, talking to girls.
Yeah.
Making friends and talking to girls.
Yeah. So can you think of a game which famously alternates between fighting monsters and socializing with friends and girls? That is the challenge of this review. And I have an
answer.
Whatever you say, I need its correct full title, as proven by Iceborne.
I have an answer, but I'm cautious about the full name.
Well, unfortunately those are the rules. But you can. What is your final answer?
My final answer, Matthew.
Yeah.
My final answer, Matthew, is
Yes.
Persona.
Yes.
4.
Well, yes, maybe. Maybe. You said Persona.
Persona 4.
Right.
Persona 4.
I'm not saying it is that.
I'm
the full title.
Persona 4. I'm gonna stick Persona 4. My final answer, Matthew, is Persona 4 Golden. Final answer. It's gone orange.
You sure you want to stick with Persona 4, specifically Golden on the end?
Yes, because...
Definitely sure. You've currently got no points. You're definitely sure.
Yes, I am. Did they change? Well, because when it came to Vita, it was Persona 4, wasn't it? Then it became Persona 4 Golden. And I think the one that released on Steam around fake E3 time, the PC Gaming Show, I think is called, yes, fuck it, it's called Persona 4 Golden.
You've only gone and done it.
Yes!
By which I mean lost the quiz.
What did I... What, are you saying I got that answer wrong? Or
no, you got it right, but you still lost the quiz. 2-1. Well, that was good. I enjoyed that.
Oh, dear me.
So that's 2-1 today. That is now 1-0 in the overall standings.
Yeah.
Next week, come back for another round if you enjoyed this quiz.
Oh, whoa. This show isn't over, Matthew.
No, I'm just saying, if you enjoyed it,
all right.
We'll do it again next week.
All right, okay.
Oh, no, yes. I know. Listen, we've got something big to finish on.
We do indeed. But before we get to that, no, because I suppose we didn't really give people notice or whatever, well, do you have any questions? We also don't have a little jingle for this. So, it's the question and answer segment in the show.
Come on, do a jingle.
Thing. I mean, I could get the guitar. No, it's too much effort.
Come on, do a jingle.
All right. Well, okay. You sing one first. You do one first, and then I'll do one.
We'll do like a call and answer.
All right. Well, that isn't going to work, Matthew, with the delay. Fuck it. Listen, it's the question and answer segment of the show. So, does anyone in the chat have any questions that they would like to ask us? I am stalling. So that's
all over time.
So that
if
somebody
you've got
can...
a question, just ask us a question.
Yes,
we'll
please.
try to answer it. That's what we'll do. This is the song at the start of the question bit. This is the bit where we ask questions from you.
Whilst people are typing in their questions, there's a couple. David Murray in the chat says Colm was robbed. Thank you, David.
I apologize for smugness. I don't know why. I don't know what overcame me there. This is cursed tuxedo.
Jacob enjoying this. People seem to like Mystery Steam reviews, which is good. People don't have questions though, Matthew. It appears. But we will give them a little bit more time. Did you say
people like the quiz, they don't like me?
No, I said they don't have questions. They like the quiz, but they don't have questions. And yeah, I'll give you another small one. Okay, we're getting questions in. Terrific! Yay, good.
Keep this bit short because we've got something big to end on.
We do, and we have overrun. This has been longer than I thought it was going to be. Anyway, Spike Blighty in the chat asks, what was Colm's first PC? Now, I'm not sure if that's meant to be my first PC game. Okay, good. We're getting questions in now. It was just a delay, Matthew. That's all it was. The first time I built a PC was in I can tell you the year. Was it 13? I clearly can't tell you the year. It was whenever Watch Dogs came out. I remember being very excited for the original Watch Dogs, and I bought a PC, or I bought the parts, and I made a PC with my friend. They were far more experienced than that, so did all that. got Watch Dogs, buzzing, really excited to play as Aiden Pierce. This is going to be the greatest game ever. I'd seen all the E3 stuff. It was brilliant. Then my PC wouldn't run the game. Fucking, it crashed out about a half an hour in and would never load up. It was an absolute shambles. So my first experience with PC gaming then deterred me actually for a couple of years because I was like, oh, it's too much effort. It's too much effort. But then, you put in a bit of effort and you get something back. So that's the story of my first PC. Jarmarman
Thank you.
Asks, where is my question jingle? It's coming. Matthew's going to work on that over the next week, aren't you? Yeah, but it needs to be shorter and snappier.
I will do a proper sequence for next week. I'll do a proper question segment.
Jacob asks, will Matthew wear a tux every week?
I might do. I think I could look quite good in it, actually. I've been looking at my little face while we've been doing this, and I've been thinking, that actually looks all right.
You should make that your gimmick.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Is there a wrestler with that gimmick?
Wearing a tux. The first one...
Wasn't there a wrestler who wore a tux?
There's a few. There's a lot of them who are very well dressed. I mean, Ricardo Rodriguez, I think he used to wear tuxes, specifically tuxes. But yeah, you should do that, Matthew.
Yeah.
Paul asks.
If you like this video, I will.
Paul asks, still recruiting a third vid bud? Eventually, we will have a third member of the family. Basically,
that's the plan.
Scott asked, has Matthew been able to maintain his famously soft hair during lockdown? Right, first of all, I wasn't aware you had famously soft hair.
My hair is famously soft, yeah.
And also,
as in, my hairdresser was cutting it once and was like, you've got really soft hair, and she would know.
How does Scott know is what I want to know.
Because we've talked about it quite a lot, probably on the Divinity or other streams.
Right, okay.
I don't have many topics of conversation, and my famously soft hair is one of them. It got very long and unpleasant, and then I had it cut short, and it's quite nice again. Thank you for asking.
Grizzly asks, are friends electric? She's electric.
Some of them are.
She's in a family full of eccentrics, Matthew. She's done things I've never expected, but she will need more time. Spot.
Is that rock music? Is that one of your rock music references?
Spot08 asks, what's your most anticipated game for the next 12 months? Matthew Castle, probably Flight Simulator.
Probably Baldur's Gate 3.
That's true. He fucking loves Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one. So I'm looking forward to Cyberpunk a lot as well. So,
for me, it would probably be cautiously. Can you be cautious? Can you cautiously anticipate something?
Yes.
Yakuza Like a Dragon. I bloody love the Yakuza games. They are fantastic. Yeah. And I'm very intrigued by the new combat system. I very much enjoy the combat in Yakuza, and it only got better.
Still hit people with bikes and things.
Well, it seems like you can, but also you can summon in like lobsters and stuff. Like it looks more mad than it's ever been. I mean, the only thing about that is, when you're running around Kamurocho, you'll get into a lot of fights, and if it goes like and goes all Final Fantasy and it just takes a long time, then it could really stall the whole thing. So
yeah, that could suck.
I don't know.
I'm sure it won't.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Toya asks, here's a question to Matthew. How tight is that tuxedo?
Oh, it's so tight. It's so tight. Like, you've probably seen my... Oh, shit. Oh, it's fine. You've probably seen my face getting pinker and pinker. It's just because I'm like... My blood can't leave my head. It's just pooling. It's like that blueberry girl in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, except just my head and full of blood. It's so hot. I'm going to have to wash this if I do wear it next week.
Well, if it's a tux, you're going to have to get that dry clean, Matthew.
I'm not getting it dry cleaned every week. I'm not made of money.
Simply Dave in the chat asks, Colm, what did you do before RPS?
What did anyone do before RPS? Come on.
this is yeah, sure. Game stuff, basically. Unholy Muppet asks. No, they don't ask anything. That isn't a question. Hariku asks, will for your amusement return in some form, Colm? That was fantastic. Thank you very much, Hariku. And to your earlier question, Simply Dave, what did you do before RPS? That was one thing I did. Maybe not. It's in the past. That's where we're trying new things here on Rock Paper Shotgun. So
burn the past. That's our motto. Burn the past.
Oh yeah, the Castaway DC says Ted DiBiase. He wore a tux, I suppose. The $1 Million Man. Do we have any other questions?
I'm the £10 man. Except not £10.
Shoe50 asks, will you be doing a Baldur's Gate 3 Let's Play?
Yeah. I'd love to. Maybe. It's just if we did, we'd wait for the full release. We wouldn't do it with the early access. But we'll wait and see. I don't know. Divinity was so long. It was quite a scarring experience, definitely for Alice. It's just the time. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully, yeah. Why not? Oh, there you go. I'm all over the place.
That's the wrong button. Caleb asks, "Is the guy on the left Irish? No, Italian. Italian, in fact." Igor asks, "What do you guys think of VR games?" Matthew Castle, I don't have a VR headset. I've messed around with VR, and that was before, it was the original Oculus headset, the PSVR. I've never messed around with the Vive or any of the better Oculus headsets. You have, and I thought it was gimmicky and VR would never catch on, and it turns out it still hasn't caught on, but it has gotten better, I believe. You played Half-Life.
Half-Life Alyx is amazing. That's one of the best things I've played. Full stop. It was amazing.
Is that a cut above everything else? Like, is that?
I haven't played a vast amount, so
okay.
Yeah, I really
do you like VR?
They had amazing bread, which is like a lot of games don't, and I love bread. So
yeah, no, that is true. It's important to put dev time into bread. I saw a question there. The Castaway asks, more Deus Ex soon? Probably not. We're focusing on the Outer Worlds at the minute.
Yeah, we didn't roll that one out as a complete series.
Sorry for laughing. I just have to cut across you, Matthew. This is a very important question. We can get back to Deus Ex. Paul asks, is the guy on the right Bolivian?
Yes.
No. Yes. Deus Ex, Matthew.
Maybe not. We could potentially. So the plan with Bastard Run, as long as people keep watching it / start watching it, it's that we're going to do games with lots of sort of decision making in them, and Deus Ex could be one of them. So potentially we could do that after the Outer Worlds. We don't know yet. It depends how that series goes.
Yes, we will see. So yeah, but if you want us making decisions in an RPG, you get them on Wednesdays between 6 and 8 in the Outer Worlds.
It's good fun. It's like this, but like meaner.
And I think that's kind of
Flight Sim in VR is going to be incredible. You're right, Gert Tarkter. I keep misreading that. Flight Simulator in VR is going to be incredible.
One final question from Grizzly. Which games have the best bears? What game is the best bear? Red Dead? It's easy, obvious.
I had good bears. Did you ever play Condemned? I think it was Condemned 2. Had a bit where a bear chased you around a house, but it was like genuinely quite scary. But anyway, Colm, we dragged this out for quite a long time. People have been waiting for something.
People have been, Matthew. While
Thank you, Spot 8 for your donation. Very kind. Thank you.
Did we get a donation? We have. Oh, thank you very much, Spot 8. Yes, Matthew, I need to set this up. So if you could please introduce the next segment now, please.
So, as promised at the start, this is it's probably something we should have talked about more throughout the episode, but some of you may have noticed. We promised you a interview with Steven Spielberg, and so we're gonna give him a call now and have a little chat.
Yeah, I'm just trying to reach him. I will. I'm just having a little bit of trouble at the minute trying to reach him, but Matthew, I know you're very excited about talking to him. Yes.
I am.
So, I think.
Got it ready?
See here. Yeah, Okay, it's going through. It's going through. Okay, cool. So, sorry, because this is live, we have to obviously chat to him, or we have to kind of get it set up on the fly. So, apologies if this is a bit slapdash, but oh shit, you can see his username as well. Just sorry, if you can ignore that, that would be helpful. But yeah, this is going to be exciting. We're going to get Steven on here, and so please do get your questions in the chat. If you have any questions for Steven, I know he was very excited about coming on. I think his audio might be a bit loud. I'll turn it down a tad. So yeah.
So any second now.
Yeah.
Any second now.
Hey, I messaged him earlier and he said he was excited for it, so this will be good. Thank you very much again, Spoit, for donating.
Any second now. Sorry about this, everyone. It's
right,
fine.
This
it's
is
fine.
hold. Matthew, it's ringing a while now. I can't.
No, it's fine.
Matthew, we promised him Steven Spielberg.
And he's got a big house, hasn't he? He's got to run to his PC.
I mean, he told me. I said, do you want to do Zoom? Everyone's doing Zoom these days. He's like, no, I trust Microsoft.
No, it's not Steven Seagal. It's Steven Spielberg, Flashy Anderson. But that's okay.
Yeah. Well, that's good. We've a question in about a Boom Blocks HD remaster. He's not picking up, Matthew. He's not.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Matthew, I'm worried. It's for a pilot episode. It's been going swimmingly, but this is going to end on a sour note.
Yeah, it really hasn't, but yes. Listen, let's next week, right?
Can we do it next? Just hang on. Listen. No, I thought he picked up. Right. Sorry about that.
Well, that was
meant to be Steven Spielberg.
Next week. Well, he's probably muted.
He's busy. What time is it in America at the minute? It's probably like might be we might have got our times wrong. He might have thought
it's lunch. It's lunch. It's I think it's lunchtime in LA. So he's probably eating like a massive pizza or something.
Yeah. He enjoys pizza. Well, as his Sky picture showed, he's a fan of a chocolate ice cream as well.
He loves chocolate ice cream. I'm sorry that Steven didn't pick up, but
yeah.
Next week, tell your friends, Steven Spielberg, he's been interviewed on the PC Gaming Weekspot.
Yeah. No, it'll certainly be.
Oh, Jacob Hayden says he feels betrayed. Jacob, I feel betrayed. Like
Mm.
he's just
Like, I
you
mean,
know.
yeah.
He said he would do it because I was like, I love all your Phil. I love Ready Player One. You clearly understand video games because you made that. And he was like, yeah.
As Jarmarman in the chat says, we've all been Steven Spielberg.
Oh my god! Well, listen, let's not knock him too much.
Well, actually, that's...
next week. Like, let's not shaft our chances. So,
very
sorry,
fair point.
It's not the note I wanted to end on.
Yes, but you know, fingers crossed we'll have him on the show next week.
I'm sorry. It's a bust. I feel bad. I think this went quite well, but that was a bust, and I feel bad about it.
Sorry. We'll see what we can do next week. Matthew Castle.
I wore the tux for him. I wore the tux because he only understands. He doesn't talk to people if they don't wear a tux.
No, if he saw me in a red T-shirt, he'd probably say, "Fuck off." Can I just talk to the man who's the well-dressed man here?
And my scum friend, and he was like, "Yeah." He said, as long as the scum friend doesn't look me in the eyes. So I was like, he won't. Right, we'll it's fine.
Matthew Castle, before I wind down with all plugs and all that type of stuff, is there anything coming up on the channel over the next week that you can and would like to plug? You can plug your Flight Simulator stuff again and all that. So Rock, Paper, Shotgun YouTube.
We're going to be doing some more Flight Simulator this week. A little bit about Warframe tomorrow. We are going to have hopefully a review of Horizon Zero Dawn on PC before the game is
crossed.
Out. Yes, fingers crossed. So, yeah. Quite a busy week. Bastard Run on Wednesday. Please watch it. It's really good fun. We're really enjoying it. I hope that didn't sound too desperate. Please. Yes.
Good.
Lots
good
of
stuff. Loads of good stuff.
Everything. Just go back and watch all the other stuff that you maybe didn't watch because it's all good.
Yeah, classic Rock, Paper, Shotgun content. So
let's watch our Peaky Blinders video.
Yes, that would be great. Thank you very much.
And for longer than a minute.
Thank you very much for a little bit too inside baseball there, Matthew. But thank you very much to everyone for watching the inaugural edition of the PC Gaming Weekspot. I got it right that time on the closer. Yeah, so that's good. What can you do? You can like this video. You can share it with your friends. That would be wonderful for all future uploads and to make sure you never miss an episode of the PC Gaming Weekspot. Be sure to subscribe and then ring the bell so you get notifications of all future uploads. You'll see all of our future content, future on Rock, Paper, Shotgun YouTube channel. You can follow this guy here, this well-dressed man, on your social medias at Mr. Basil _Pesto. Is that right? Where's the am I getting the underscore in the right? I think that's it. You can follow me at Colm _Ahern. And come back for more fun next week. It's been a pleasure, and thank you very much for chatting to us all night. But now it is time, Matthew Castle, now it is time for my least favorite part of the show. This is the part of the show where we must bid the viewer adieu. So say goodbye, Matthew Castle.
Goodbye.
Say goodbye, Colm Ahern. Sloan Gaffo. Mwah. Goodbye, everybody. Wave at the people, Matthew. Wave at them. Goodbye.